Welcome to the Redevelopment Agency meeting here at Boulder City Council Chambers. The items listed on the agenda may be taken out of order. Two or more agenda items for consideration may be combined, or any item on the agenda may be removed, or related discussion may be delayed at any time. Call the meeting to order. Madam City Clerk.
Thank you. The agenda was posted in accordance with open meeting law. We have all members present except for Member Jorgensen, who sends her regrets. Due to weather delays, she was unable to make it in today.
Thank you very much. We would like to have a period of public comment at this time. If anybody would like to come to the podium and sign in, spell your name and educate us. See none. Anyone on the phone or on written comment with letters, Madam City Clerk?
We received one written comment from Lois Donat. Below are a list of properties owned by the owners of 711 Wells Road. For possible action, resolution number 241, a resolution of the Redevelopment Agency of Boulder City, Nevada, authorizing RDA grant program funding in the amount of $65,535 for certain eligible exterior improvements, costs related to 711 Wells Road. This property is owned by Oriel and Mindy Wanagasegra, who also own these properties according to the Clark County Assessor's Office. Also, they own First Choice Automotive located at 1634 Foothill Drive, Boulder City, Nevada. Not sure why these people actually qualify for these RDA funds, as they seem to have access to a lot of property, real estate, and a business of First Choice Automotive. Development assistance. Property owners and developers seeking assistance from the RDA should demonstrate how their project complements the redevelopment plan. If monetary assistance is requested, they must show that no other reasonable means of financing is obtainable. And it goes on to list several properties in Boulder City.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Any other comments or anyone on the phone?
That was it.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. The agenda, we need to approve the minutes. I'm smiling now from March 8th.
Member, before we go on, Mr. Chairman, before we go on, can I read a disclosure, please?
Please.
Per NRS 279.454, if any officer or employee owns, purchases, or has or acquires any direct or indirect financial interest in such property within the redevelopment area, he or she shall immediately make a written disclosure of it to the agency and the legislative body, which must be entered onto their minutes. Agency Board Member Koki Booth owns property at 1610 Boulder City Parkway and 850 Del Rey, Unit B. The written disclosure is on file in the City Clerk's office and will be included in the minutes. Agency Board Member Matt Fox has an indirect financial interest in property located at 1305 Arizona Street. Member Fox is a member of the Boulder Dam Restaurant, LLC, which has a lease at 1305 Arizona Street. The written disclosure is on file in the City Clerk's office and will also be included in the minutes.
Thank you. Any other disclosures that we need to hear about?
That's it.
Okay, and then we'll proceed with our public comment at this, or our approval of minutes, I'm sorry. March 8th, 2022. I'm not sure how many of us were here, but I would hope that we can have a motion to accept those minutes from somebody who was.
I move to accept those minutes.
I'll second.
Thank you. Moved and seconded. Any objections or any discussion? See none. The minutes have been accepted. Thank you, and approved. We will move to item number 2 on the agenda, and then subsequently 3, 4, 5, and Rafia Stection will proceed and help us through that. If you would proceed.
Good evening, Rafi Festiction, City's Economic Development Coordinator. The City of Boulder City's Redevelopment Agency has been established to assist businesses and property owners interested in projects aimed at revitalizing their property within the redevelopment boundary limits. It's a grant in which up to 30%, max $99,900 of the total project costs of eligible improvements can be reimbursed. Brett Runyon and Ed Cave from BC First LLC have applied and are seeking RDA funding to make exterior improvements to their property located at 521 Nevada Way, which is located in the city's historic downtown district. The applicants are proposing to invest approximately $114,425 to remove the current awning in front of the property and add a new portico that will extend over the sidewalk. This new portico will fill the gap between the adjacent building and the northeast corner, ensuring visual continuity with the other businesses. The goal of the applicants is to restore the historic nature of the architecture of the building. BC First LLC would be eligible for up to 30% reimbursement of funds through the city's RDA grant program. Based on eligible expenses, they could receive up to $34,328 in reimbursement. The RDA budget is $179,900 for this fiscal year, and this is the first project that has been submitted for consideration. I would be happy to answer any questions that you may have regarding the project. Mr. Runyon and Ed Cave are also in attendance.
Thank you. Any questions, comments?
None.
Any motion?
I'll make a motion to accept resolution number 240.
Is there a second?
I can second that.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. It has been accepted and approved. And we'll move to number 3, Mr. Stection.
Oriel and Mendy Wanagesegra, co-trustees of the Anthony Cole Janai Irrevocable Spendthrift Trust, are seeking RDA funding for their property in order to make improvements at 711 Wells Road. The land currently has no structures on it, is located in the industrial district at the southeast corner of Industrial and Wells Road. The applicants purchased the property in November of 2020. They are proposing to invest $218,450 for eligible RDA improvements, which include excavation of the parcel and installation of new boundary retaining walls. Their goal is to build a storage facility lot that can house boats, RVs, and other recreational vehicles. They would be eligible for up to 30% reimbursement of funds through the city's RDA grant program. Based on eligible expenses, they could receive up to $65,535 in reimbursements. Thank you for your time. There is a rendering of the boundary of how it would be built and a diagram of a picture of the proposed wall as similar as possible.
Thank you. Any questions? Any comments? I would make a comment that this particular opportunity, given the question about it, is with the RDA, we are incentivizing, I'll call it, people to improve their property, improve the opportunities we have in Boulder City, one of which is to have RV and boat storage places. And so I would be supportive of this, and I would accept a motion.
I move to accept resolution number 241.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Unanimous vote. And then we'll move to number 4, Mr. Stection.
Tara Bertoli from Boulderite Holdings LLC has applied and is seeking RDA funding through the Historic Preservation RDA Grant Program in order to make restoration improvements to Boulder City Company Store located at 525 Avenue B. The property is in the historic district and was built in 1931. The applicant purchased and remodeled the property in 2019, opening the Boulder Company Store shortly thereafter. Boulderite Holdings LLC seeking redevelopment agency historic preservation funding in order to make the following improvements to the property: replacement of the existing roof and restoration of the 3 skylights, which is evident in the rendering on the screen. The total investment by the applicant for this project is approximately $43,210. Per historic preservation grant guidelines, the application was forwarded to the city's historic preservation consultant, Northwind Resource Consulting, for evaluation. The consultant, Courtney Mooney, stated that the proposed work would not alter the building's contributing status. This project was presented to the Historic Preservation Commission on January 25th for review. The commission made a motion that the application was in compliant with the Historic Preservation Grant Program guidelines. Boulderite Holdings LLC would be eligible for up to 50% reimbursement through the city's Historic RDA Grant Program, and based on those eligible expenses, the applicant could receive up to $21,605 in reimbursements. Be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions or comments?
None.
I would accept a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept resolution 242.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? The discussion item I would say is, when I've talked about this to people, they say, there are skylights there? So we're gonna find out how it looks like. Appreciate it. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Unanimous vote. Thank you. We'll move to number 5. Mr. Stection, if you would.
The Boulder City Parkway Shade Structures project will include the installation of 4 bus stop shade structures and 3 pedestrian shade structures, since shade structures were not part of the 2020 Boulder City Complete Street Beautification Project. In addition to council approval, this does require review by the RDA agency. Council previously approved this at last month's January 10 meeting. We are bringing this to the RDA agency to complete RDA obligations, and a rendering of the proposed shade structure is on the screen. Thank you.
Any discussion or any questions?
None.
I have one. Do you have a rendering of the bus being under the shade, or is it just for the people who wait for the bus?
I'll defer to Public Works on that.
All right, thank you. Any discussion other than that? I would accept a motion.
Okay.
Will move to accept resolution number 2243.
Is there a second?
I'll second that one.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? See none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Thank you. Unanimous vote. And we will move to public comment. Anyone who wishes to have public comment on the redevelopment agency meeting agenda would come forward now. Please state your name and give us your report.
Hi there, I'm Brett Runyon, and longtime resident of Boulder City. And I think there is some confusion about the RDA with some folks, whether it is an incentive program or a financial aid program. And it seems to me that in most recent times it's been geared toward incentivizing, as you mentioned earlier, but I don't think that's necessarily publicly known. And the idea about the financial aid doesn't even really work if you think about giving assistance in some situations that are, doomed. you don't want to invest in a program necessarily if it's not profitable and such. But anyway, I do just like to clear that up. If you guys have any thoughts on it, I'd certainly be welcome. But it's just something that keeps coming up in the public. I see it out in social media, whether this is an incentive program to improve our community and basically bring back some of those historic charm or improve different parts of the town that are blighted, or if it truly is something for a financial need. Appreciate all your help, though, and it's we've done our part to help beautify downtown whenever we can. The part that we're working on historically had arches there back in the 30s. It's the last piece of town that doesn't down there on that street. And along that same line, I don't necessarily see it really benefiting financially for us. It's not creating any kind of return, but it will help beautify that part of town and help tie it in historically the way it was originally meant to be. So I think it's a great project, and I do appreciate your guys' support. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Runyon. Any other public comment? Anyone on the line or any letters? We'll wait for a minute on the phone line. No one on the phone line?
No one's on the phone.
All right. See no other public comment. We will adjourn the meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
I can't believe how cold it is. Hot in here, I know.